Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm gonna be doing a video today that is stopping when I get a 5-star read. So I'm reading a bunch of different books and then the video will stop when I rate a book 5 stars. I forgot to film an intro before I did all the reading, hence why I'm wearing the same thing as I do in the final clip of me reviewing my books. But yeah, that's all I have to say. So let's just hop right on into the video.
My trail mix literally went everywhere in my bag and now it's all on the bottom of my Kindle. I need to wipe this off, but before I do that, I'm gonna just update. So I'm about to start reading By a Thread by Lucy Score. I've watched a few booktubers and they all really like it and we seem to have like similar kind of taste. So I'm definitely very excited to watch this. Oh my god. I'm definitely really excited to read this. Sorry, I'm like out of breath because I'm literally like still sick. So I'm like trying to breathe. But yeah. So I'm excited. Also, I got this new pop socket on my Kindle. It's so freaking cute. Like the little pink cowboy boot. I'm obsessed. Anyways, I'm gonna read this. I'll definitely update you throughout the book, let you know my thoughts, and I'm gonna go clean off the trail mix now. Filmed an update for this video a few days ago, but what I said I was gonna do, I didn't even stick to, so I have a lot to catch you up on. First, I finished By a Thread. It took me like a week to read it because I read the first 50% of it and I like flew through it, got into it, and then I was kind of like, why is it only halfway done? And then by the time I got to 70%, I was really like, not my favorite. I was like, this is getting long, it's dragging on. The book was like, okay. I'd probably rate it about a 3-star because obviously I didn't finish it. Like I took a break at 70% and then I finally picked it back up and finished it. But I don't know, it just felt like the characters were supposed to be like around 40 or in their mid 40s and they literally felt like so mature. The way that Allie like behaved or things she said from Dominic's point of view when we got his point of view in the story just seemed really out of character based on how we knew her from her point of view. There were just like a lot of things I didn't love about it, and like the length was definitely one of them. I could see how some people would like it, and like I said, I flew through the first half, but after that it just felt like way too long. I had higher hopes for it. Anyway, next, it's not on here right now, but on my Kindle, I read The Housemaid's Secret, which is the second book to The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I read that when I stopped reading By a Thread at like the 70% mark, so I read it literally like in a day, less than a day. I binged it and that was really good. I definitely liked the first book better, but it was still really good. I would still recommend it. The twist, like, I kind of saw coming, but also not really. I literally, like, binged it, so it definitely kept my attention, which is really good. That book would probably be a 4-star read. The update I made a few days ago, I was gonna start reading Watching You, I think it is, by Lisa Jewell on my Kindle, but I didn't do that. Instead, I read this book, None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. I got this for Christmas. I'm obsessed with this cover. It like does something to my brain where it just like, I love it so much. But anyways, into the book. It was okay. I definitely had higher expectations going into it because I've seen like other reviews where people don't necessarily love any of her books, but then this was like a 5-star read for them. It just didn't do it for me. I didn't think it was like as intense or as like I wasn't on the edge of my seat as much. It kind of felt like a lot was like given to us during it. So it didn't make the end super, like there wasn't much of a twist to me. It wasn't really shocking. I mean, I also read this in like a day. I read most of it yesterday and I just barely finished it. I had like 30 pages. So it was a quick read. It was still good. Just not my favorite book from her. So I'd give this like a 3.5. I'd still recommend it. I love Lisa Jewell and her writing is like so good. I didn't even explain what this was about. I'll read like this little blurb because this is like the most basic synopsis. When a famous podcaster interviews a stranger promising to divulge the story of a lifetime, secrets emerge that threaten to expose the truth of the lives they both worked hard to project and protect. I'm going to start another book. Well, not start. I'm going to pick up on another book. I DNF'd this book, Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I DNF'd this book back in like October, and I have not picked it up since, but I think I need to. This book, I just couldn't get into. It's not even that long. It's like 300 pages, but I'm on page 57. So I'm 20% of the way through and I feel like nothing's happened and I'm kind of bored. Hence why I stopped reading it for like 2 months. It's dual POV about, I don't really even know what it's about a couple. It's a couple. And they are at like a little church right now for like a weekend away and to like save their marriage or fix it or whatever. But that's all I know because I like literally go into every book blind. Like I don't want to know what it's about. And I've heard that like the ending's really crazy, but I just like need to get into it. It's been really slow, so I hope it picks up a little bit. I will definitely update you later tonight and see how far I've gotten into it. I'm hoping I can make some good progress. I just finished Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. And also, I know I'm like literally in the same spot every time, but it's just hard being home. I don't have like my tripod or anything, so this is my setup. That was like easily a snore. I do not recommend that book. I don't know why there's so many good like 5-star like positive reviews, like oh my god, the twist. Like I thought that was so unsuspenseful. And like the mystery of it, like it wasn't like, I didn't care. Essentially, like I don't know if I even explained what it was about, but essentially this couple goes away for a weekend to try to like fix their marriage, but the guy has face blindness. There's like a different word for it, but he has like face blindness, so he can't like read emotions or like recognize people, like blah blah blah. They like won this like free weekend stay in like a work raffle or whatever. And then they're staying over at an old church that was like turned into a house. And just like, it's kind of creepy, like weird vibes, like major snowstorm, lots of arguing, weird things happening. I read like the first 20% and I DNF'd it. I thought that it was gonna get better. Little did I know, I was wrong. I did read this in a day. I read the rest of it in a day. So, I mean, it was like relatively quick. It was only like 300 pages though, so I didn't expect it to take that long. And even though I didn't exactly guess like the twist of it, there were some things about it that like you did kind of guess, and it was just like not it. I don't know. Like it felt like she was trying to leave like breadcrumbs, but I just didn't care enough about the breadcrumbs to be like, oh my god. And then like, even if I was like a little bit intrigued, when we finally got the answers, it was like so underwhelming to me. And then I didn't love the ending. That was my first Alice Feeney book, and I had really high expectations. I've been reading a lot of thrillers this past week, I feel like. I read 3 of them. 3 of the 4 books I read while I was home were thrillers. But I'm thinking about either reading How to Love Your Neighbor, or I think it's called Enemies with Benefits. But I could also read Magnolia Parks because I got the first book But I don't know if I want to start another series. I kind of want to finish the ones that I've currently started. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Enemies with Benefits. It says 434 pages. It'll take me about 7 hours to read. I'm going to read this. Hopefully there's something good that comes out of this.
Hey guys, so change of location. I'm back in North Carolina and I started this book on the plane. I'm on chapter 29, which is 59% of the way through. So I read 261 pages already because I literally read the entire time I was on both planes and I'm loving it. This is exactly type of vibe that I was expecting to get from By a Thread, but like it's just so, it's giving. The banter, the little spice, everything about it. I'm loving it. It's going at like the perfect speed where I'm like invested, but it's not like too slow, but it's also not too fast. So I'm excited to finish this book. And then now that I'm back home, I also really want to finish this book, A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas, of course. And I'm about a fourth of the way through. I'm on page like 50. So I think I'm going to finish reading Enemies with Benefits first because I don't think I'll finish it tonight because I am kind of tired and I have a long day of work tomorrow. But there's a possibility that I will finish it tonight, and then tomorrow I'm going to pick back up on this. And I'm really excited because I missed it. I'll keep you updated, but yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. I just finished Enemies with Benefits earlier today, and I would give it like a 4.5 star. It wasn't quite a 5 star. It was so good and it was like everything I wanted, but something about it, it was just like not like, I don't foresee myself, like maybe it'll change, but like I don't foresee myself thinking about it like when I'm comparing it to like Book Lovers by Emily Henry or Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, like constantly thinking about those. Just not quite a 5 star, but it was so good. And it was like everything you need in a rom-com, like especially in Enemies to Lovers, like it was perfect. So there's that. I'm gonna start reading this book again, A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. I'm on page 48, so that's literally like a quarter of the way through because it's, I think, like just over 200 pages. I definitely want to make some good progress on this. I only have a little bit until I have to go back to work, so I'm going to read for a little bit and then maybe I'll try to finish this tonight. I'm really excited to start A Court of Silver Flames because I've heard such good things about that book too. That being said, I'm going to go. I'll update you guys later. I just finished A Court of Frost and Starlight, and that means I just have one book left. This is easily going to be the biggest book I've ever read, and I really wish I could read it on my Kindle, but I'm not about to buy it again. I've already picked out my tabs. Tabs are gonna go in, and I'm gonna start this tomorrow. I'm probably also gonna start another book on my Kindle because I'm not gonna bring this like around with me, but I keep my Kindle in my purse when I leave. So, but I'll update you guys if I do that, because I don't even know what one it would be. Oh yeah, I have to give a rating. A Court of Frost and Starlight, like a 4. It's like good. It was like happy, like a little update, but like obviously it's not like anything like super interesting happened. Just like catching up on their lives. Definitely the least interesting of the 4 of the 4 so far. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna go to bed, but I'll update you guys about this book when I start or somewhere in it. Hey guys, long time no talk. I
I don't even know what the last book is that I finished. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, yes, I do. It was, I started reading, I got 1% into How to Love Your Neighbor, 3% into How to Choose a Guy in 10 Days, and, oh, and then I started Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer, I think it was. I can't read it from here. I got 22% into that, but I'm not loving it. It just didn't feel like there was much like depth to any of it. Like not even in a way of like in Enemies with Benefits, it was like there was like a little bit of like something. But this, I don't care for it. So I'm actually gonna DNF that. Well, I already did, but I'm gonna return it to Kindle Unlimited because I genuinely don't care and I'm not gonna pick it up again. So now I'm reading The Chase by Elle Kennedy because I read the first 3 books of the Off Campus series and then I stopped after that because I read those like back to back and they're all very similar. And then, yeah, I have this book and I started it so long ago last year, probably almost a year ago. And I have it, like the physical one, but I also bought it on my Kindle, I guess, at the same time. I don't know. So I'm reading that right now. I'm 87% of the way through. And I'm probably gonna give it like a 3 stars because the third act, like breakup, I kind of guessed, like I saw it coming. But it also feels like it's going a lot slower than the Off Campus series. Like this is the Briar U series. And it just feels like it's going a lot slower, but I am really interested in reading the second one. I don't know what it's called. I think The Risk, maybe? I'm still reading this. I'm on page 310. So I'm like almost halfway. It's definitely taking me longer to read this than I anticipated. I think it's just like I've been so busy and I'm trying to read this when I can. I am really enjoying this book so far. I'm loving, it's definitely way less politics, at least up until this point that I'm at, which I don't mind at all. Like it's kind of like a break, but I have a feeling like there's gonna be some sort of action at some point. Hoping I can make some good progress on this tonight, even just getting halfway because it is really late. It's like 10:30. Sorry for the quality because I know that the lighting's really bad. I just finished The Chase by Elle Kennedy and honestly, 2.5 stars. I just didn't really connect with the characters. I didn't really care for their relationship. And it felt really long. So, and it was like 370 pages. So, you know, that's not great that I felt that way. The one thing I did like is that there was no like real like third act breakup, which I enjoyed. Because I hate when there is one. At the end, they just like literally for like half a page touched upon like SA and like colleges and then like things like not happening legally from that, which was just like weird. I think it was just like thrown in there and it just like that was like kind of how the book ended. Like that was like the whole ending. It was just weird. Like I just like was like, okay, this is like a whole other storyline that's just like not necessary. Like did not need to be in this book. The first whole part of the book honestly was really boring. And then it finally got into like what I feel like the story should have been. And then it just didn't have an ending because it was like the last like 30 or 40% that was like the story. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. I was not a fan, but I am gonna start The Risk later tonight when I go to bed because I'm way more interested in Brenna's story and Brenna and Jake's story. But I'm currently still reading this. I did make a good dent in it today. I think I got to like page like 350 yesterday. I'm on page 463 right now and I'm still gonna do a little bit of reading. I want to get to page 500 before I get ready for bed. So I think if I do that I can. But I'm just loving it. Every aspect of this book feels like it's just like moving at a very good pace, which I'm loving. I'm gonna start reading again. Good morning. It is 8:30. I just got up. I have my coffee. So good. I think even though I have time this morning, I think I'm gonna keep reading on my Kindle just because it's short and I do have some things to do. Like, I gotta get ready. I'm gonna read. I'm on page 119 out of 400 for this. Guys, I'm giddy. Oh my God. I'm sitting here doing my makeup and reading on my Kindle, but I'm doing a lot more reading than I am my makeup. Oh my God, this book. This is like what I wished the last book was gonna be. I'm like so invested. I'm so giddy. I love everything. The banter, the tension, the communication. I can't. I'm on chapter 19, which is 45% of the way, page 176. And I'm eating everything up that she's putting down. I actually need to get ready. So, I think I'm just gonna do like some blush. I'm eating up everything that Elle Kennedy is putting down in this book. And this is what I expected, honestly. I just can't. The characters are so much better. The two main characters, I think, are so much better and just have like so much more chemistry, and just I like them so much more. This is more what I feel like Off-Campus series was compared to the first book in this series. I gotta go to work, but I'm gonna bring my book because there's no way I'm not reading it when I have time. Last night, I finished The Risk, and honestly, 4.5 stars. I think that was my favorite Elle Kennedy book that I've read. Some of it was like kind of predictable, but it didn't make it any less good. Next on my Kindle, it's either probably gonna be Twisted Love, which I have the physical book, but I might read it on my Kindle or I'm also thinking about a thriller, which I would probably read Watching You by Lisa Jewell. Oh my God. Okay, I'm on 658. And it was the last part 4. So actually it got really good right before that. 648. Okay. This book is like, I've gasped like 3 times in like 10 pages. And it's literally so good. The last 100 pages of all of her books, there's like so much action and so many twists. I can't. Oh my God, I was not expecting this, but I'm loving it. Really hope I finish this today because I like need to now. It's just too good to not. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. I kind of forgot to just update, so I'm updating now and I can finally finish this video. I found a 5-star read that wasn't within the ACOTAR series. I did give A Court of Silver Flames 5 stars, but that I feel like was a given. This book I read at the same time, but I was reading it on my Kindle. I think I got maybe halfway and I DNF'd it because I don't really care for the main characters. I just didn't really enjoy it. I thought it was like kind of cringy. I might pick it back up at some point. I'm definitely gonna give the other books a try because I didn't mind the writing. I just didn't care for these characters. I also think I'm a little bit sick of Grumpy Sunshine tropes right now, and that is definitely what this is. I'm definitely willing to keep giving it a chance, just not right now. On my Kindle, I started Divine Rivals. This book was definitely a 5-star. It was so good. Roman is like, he's just so great. I didn't think I was gonna like this book because of the war aspect, the time period, because I'm pretty sure it was like the 1800s or something. And then the fact that it was writing letters, I thought it was gonna be kind of boring. But it ended up being so good. The first 50 pages were definitely slow, but the rest of it was just paced really well, I feel like, and it was just so good. And it kind of left on a little cliffhanger. So I'm really excited to read the next one. I'm just not sure when that'll be. And at the same time, I was reading Powerless by Lauren Roberts, and this was like a 6-star read.
Oh my gosh, all these purple tabs are just like I was like giddy. I was smiling. I loved the banter. I loved just everything about this book. The pacing was perfect. The tension, there was enough going on. I was never bored. And this also left kind of on a cliffhanger, not really. This was great. It was a YA book, so it definitely read like it, but I didn't mind that at all. Yeah, so we can finally end this video because I found multiple 5-star reads, which I'm really happy about because for a minute there, I was definitely not getting a lot of great reads. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you next time.